Play your position, you'll never lose your place. You gotta understand that feminine energy that you have, man, is your superpower. You are born with certain gifts that I may never have. I'm born with certain gifts that you are not born with. No two people are created equal. It's the yin and the yang. You dig? But when we come together, man, we are unstoppable. Each and every woman is connected to the energy of Mother Nature. That's where your strength lies. So you gotta tap into that. Stop trying to be masculine. Stop trying to act like a man. Stop trying to conduct yourself like a man. That's why successful black men always date outside of their race when they get their money, because they don't want to deal with a woman that's trying to act like him. Make a decision. You gonna wear the pants or the panties? We put a lot of blame on the women, but at the end of the day, man, it's all about us. We as men, we create the environment. We are the king on the chessboard. On the chessboard, we got pawns, we got queens, we got kings, we got rooks, and we got knights. Everybody has a position to play. The queen is the most valuable piece on the chessboard. She can do every and anything on the chessboard, but the king is the foundation. Once the king is dead, the game is over. Woman, you gotta understand that. The king is the cornerstone of the relationship. When the relationship succeeds, it's the man's fault. When the relationship doesn't succeed, it's the man's fault. If the kids are misbehaving and not doing their homework on time, it's the man's fault. Anything that goes on in that household is the man's fault, because the man sets the rules and the regulation. He sets the tone. It's time to take accountability for everything that goes on in your household, man. Don't put it on the woman. That's easy. That's a cop-out. If I'm dating a female and she decides to go out there and cheat on me, that's my fault. If some part of the relationship I was neglecting her, some things that I was doing that she didn't like, and I didn't listen to her when she was complaining about.
I know you see
and
a
I didn't
snack.
fix whatever the problem was. We are co-creators in that event. I take full responsibility for the role that I play. I don't get mad and puff and pout about it. I move on to the next. I'm a fly nigga. I can find anything I want to find, because the power's within me. I'm the plug. You did? I charge her up. I give her the energy that she desires. But what I want you to understand is this, man. You got to create a mastermind with the woman that you're involved with. You did? That's why they are able to beat us in all these business arenas, because they understand universal laws that we're not even aware of. Matthew 18 and 20 says, when two or more are present in my name, then I shall appear. That's God. It's important to find a woman that's going to stick by your side and that's going to ride with you until the wheels fall off. Because once you create that mastermind, you are unstoppable. You are able to tap into your genius. Her superpower is her energy, her emotions. I don't want my woman to stop being emotional. I want her to learn how to control that emotion, man. Maneuver that energy in a direction that is going to be prosperous for us. It's going to be beneficial for us. We're stronger together. Divided we fall. We got to come together as a unit. When one horse is pulling the carriage, it only can pull a certain amount of weight. But when two horses come together, they can pull 4 times the amount of weight. That's why it's important to come together as a unit. They understand the game. We just don't understand the game. And we play right into their hands. Always bickering and fighting, when we just need to come together and make this shit work. There's no perfect people. You just got to find somebody that you want to go through the storm with. When I'm seeing the most relationships,
Cheers, what it is and what it ain't, man. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Everybody great? That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me, you dig? Y'all already know how I feel about it. It could be 1 person or 1 million. Y'all still gonna get this work, you dig? It don't matter. You are now tuned in to Create a Steady Hustle. Of course, I got my co-host with me, Prince, the Dapper Don. You know, the coolest dog in the world. That's off top. I'm the Dapper Don. He the coolest dog in the world. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Of course, I got on my Biggie Versace shades. You dig? The Biggie Versace shades, man. I'm gonna put them to the side for a second. Let me, do a few things real quick. You know what I mean? How y'all doing out there, man? Let me know where y'all tapping in from. Your name and where you tapping in from. As soon as you step in, automatically give me a like. As soon as you step in, don't even waste time. Like the channel ASAP. Click the notification button if you don't have it clicked already. You need to have that clicked so anytime I go live, you get notified. You dig? Off top, let me know your name and where you tapping in from. Like I said again, I appreciate you being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I got to do a few things. I got to put my Patreon in the actual, chat so y'all could see, what's going on, and y'all could definitely have an opportunity to sign up to my Patreon if you haven't signed up already. It's very important that y'all sign up to the Patreon and support the show. Support the platform, support what I'm doing, support what I got going on, support my campaign. It's very important that y'all do that, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the ship ain't gonna sail itself. You know what I mean? Join the Patreon. Definitely be a part of the campaign, man. Part of the movement. So I gotta put that in the actual comment section and definitely pin that too. You dig? So whenever y'all come and join, y'all be able to see that off rip. You know what I mean? Gotta have that. This ain't going on, man. Gotta pin that message off rip. So listen, man, yeah. Anytime y'all got some time, and I know y'all do, join the Patreon. You feel me? A lot of videos, of course. Very informative information, of course. Motivational, inspirational, educational. You dig? So it's very imperative that y'all join the Patreon because, you know, it's a place where you can get uncommon information. It's a place where you can go and just go down my videography, you know what I mean? Discography, or whatever you want to call it, and check out all the content I've produced it in the past and the content I've produced it in the future. Also, the Cash Academy is definitely on my Patreon as well. I'm shifting from the school Cash Academy platform to the Cash Academy on the Patreon. So everything will be on the Patreon. I have a school platform, skool.com. Not the Cash Academy on there. And I'll be changing everything from the school and transferring it to Patreon, all right? So y'all make sure y'all definitely be aware of that. That's coming in the future, you know, in the near future. So I just want to put that out there for everybody that's already in my school. You know what I mean? We're going to transfer everything over to Patreon, you dig? Anyway, y'all know what it is, man. Another episode, man. This episode, I'm going to be talking about the DNA of a hustler, how to pass on power and not just pain. You know what I mean? It's a lot of times our family pass on a lot of things to us and we don't talk about it enough. But today we're going to discuss it. You know, your father, your mother, somebody in your family tree have passed on something to you. And a lot of times they pass on a lot of pain instead of passing on power. And we're going to discuss my own personal experience with that as well. But before we get into that, I definitely want to see who's in the room. And I want y'all to shout yourself out and also give me a like as soon as y'all tap in. And what I was playing earlier was an album that I put out called Dropping Jewels, is where I take the Instagram clips that I feel is dope or what people love the most, Instagram clips that went viral or Instagram clips that was really informative and inspirational. I put it on this particular volume, CD kind of thing called Dropping Jewels Volume 1. And that's 12 different Instagram clips where I've just said something that was impactful. And you'll be able to listen to that on Apple Music, Spotify, and all music platforms where you could just, zone out and just be in your car just riding and listening to, some clips, some jewels. I'm just dropping jewels, that's it, man. 12 jewels that you can take with you throughout the day. Sometimes when you're in your car, you don't have to listen to music. You just put that on and you can just, zone out for a few minutes and just get into that positive vibration, positive spirit, that positive energy, you dig? So I'm going to continue do that. If I see this one do, do good or whatever, I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to drop a volume 1, drop a volume 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on. Just nothing but game, man. You know what I mean? Nothing but jewels. That's what we're going to be dropping. Nothing but jewels. You dig? So that's what I've been playing in the beginning of this particular live. You dig? I feel like that's a very smart idea. At the end of the day, when you put out content, you want to be able to maximize your content. And that's a dope way for content creators. If you do what I do, you can maximize your content. You can put it on Spotify, Apple Music, and have people play it, not just on Instagram, but also play it when they're on their musical platforms like, all these other platforms out there, Pandora, wherever you listen to music at, you'll be able to listen to me. And I'm also going to be uploading a lot of my old videos on Spotify, you know, because this, you know, is an audio experience as well. It's not just a visual experience, it's an audio experience as well. So right now y'all getting the visual experience, but we're gonna definitely, you know, press up an audio version of it and put that out there as well, so y'all can listen to me on certain podcasts like Spotify, like I said again, different platforms where you can check me out. But that's just an audio experience, you dig? But y'all getting the live in the flesh, visual, you dig? Which I like the most. I like the visual experience because you get the, you know, I get to get fly. I get to put on some fly drip, you dig? As you can see, I got on my Pirate City album cover. Well, not an album, it's an EP. My EP cover, Treasure Chest with the Pirate City logo on top, you dig? So I get to wear my merch, you feel me? And y'all get to see that. So I like the visual experience as well, you know what I mean? And y'all get to see me do what I do when I do what I does. Stay fly, you dig? And I like getting dressed, man. That's just what I like doing. I like getting dressed. So, you know, so I like the visual experience a little bit more. You dig? But it's all up to y'all, man. Also, I want y'all to let me know what y'all would like for me to discuss. You dig? I've been recording these videos and I just do what I like half the time. But I want to know what y'all like to listen to, what y'all like to hear, what topics y'all would like for me to tackle and get, you know, y'all want to get my perspective on certain situations. So if you are definitely a supporter of the show, join the Patreon, send me a message in the chat, let me know what type of topics that you would like for me to tackle, things that you would like for me to discuss, all right? And I'm not going to pick everything you might have, you know, everything you say I might not pick. It has to be a topic that I like, that I can relate to, and then I could be able to, you know what I mean, give my opinion on it honestly, you dig? So make sure that it's a topic that is dope. Prince, you gotta relax, man. Come on, man. You gotta relax, man. We chilling right now. We just cooling, man. I'm definitely gonna leave a number for y'all to tap in as well. And y'all can talk about certain things that y'all got going on. Blessings, 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 blessings. Bricks TV, blessings. Yeah, man, we're going to talk about a few things, man. This ain't going to be a long live at all, you dig? It's going to be short and sweet, but I'm going to be very informative, you dig? I just wanted to get a few of those things out of the way to let y'all know what's going on in my life and what's going on, you dig, with the whole platform. Like I said again, we moving the school from school.com to Patreon. Everything, the Cash Academy, will be on Patreon eventually in the next upcoming months, all right? Y'all just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Other than that, man, we just cooling. Me and Prince, we just vibing. You got to relax, man. Come on, man. I ain't got no more treat. You looking for this little treat right here, huh? I know you want this treat, man, but you got to relax, man. I can see what's passed down in your DNA. Yeah, greed. Greed is passed down in your DNA. You one greedy mother sucker, man. You eat everything. Anything that ain't nailed down, he's going to eat. Greed is in your DNA for sure. Man, that's all he want, man. He be trying to come next to me like he trying to be affectionate and loving and caring. Nah, he just want his treat. That's all he want. He don't want nothing else. He don't want nothing else to do with me. He want his treat. Greedy ass dog, man. Greed is one of those traits that you don't want to be passed down. You don't want that to be passed down to your DNA, because greed has taken down so many people. And greed is one of those things that I'm always aware of, you dig? I'm thinking about getting a tattoo of some of the flaws that I feel that I need to work on to keep me in remembrance. I'm going to get a tattoo that says focus, patience, greed, and I think it's another one I want to get. But greed is on there. You know, it's going to remind me to stay focused, number one. Stay patient, number two. Control your greed, number three. And there's another one, there's a fourth one. These are flaws that I feel like I need to work on. So I feel so strongly about them that I'm going to get it tattooed on me so it can keep me in remembrance at all time. You dig? I don't know where I'm going to get it tattooed at, but I'm going to get it tattooed on me. But there's a fourth one. I don't know. It's at the tip of my tongue right now. Pause. Fourth one. I know I need to work on my focus. I got to stay focused. I got to stay patient. And I got to stay in control of my greed. There's another one. I can't remember. When I remember it, I'll let y'all know. But the reason I want to tattoo these on me because, like I said again, I got ADHD. I do like 100 things at one time. You dig? And that could be good, and that could also be bad. because I get a lot done, but I'm doing so much at the same time that one thing is not getting 100% of my time and focus and attention. And when you're trying to get things done the correct way, you want to do it right so you don't got to do it twice. And if you're not focused, you won't be able to give it the right attention that it needs. So I want to keep myself in remembrance to let me know I got to stay focused regardless of what's going on around me or how many things I got on my plate to accomplish. I got to stay focused and take care of this one thing first, one at a time, you dig? And I also want to be patient because, when you coming up in the hood, a lot of times you want to get money quick, you dig? We love fast money, but we all know anything that comes fast don't last, you dig? So I want to stay patient and understand that patience wins the game. You dig? Throughout my life, that's what I realized. Patience wins the game. If you want to succeed in life, you gotta have patience with you. You gotta understand that nothing is gonna happen overnight. So you have to be patient, gotta lock in, and just wait. And patience is one of those things that I've learned that when it comes to investing, you have to be patient. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. If you want to have your money for a long time and you don't want it to go as fast as you got it, when you invest your money, you have to be patient. You cannot just put your money into the stock, put your money into real estate, put your money into an investment and expect a return right away. So you have to have patience. Understand that. Right now, you might not have all the money you want, have all the things you want, but you got to understand, be patient, it's coming. Just think positive, and everything you want will come to you as long as you put in the work. And the third one that I got to get tattooed to keep myself in remembrance is greed. Greed is one of the things that took down a lot of people. A lot of people in my days didn't make it because, they had that greed on their back. You feel me? A lot of niggas in jail because of greed. A lot of people are dead because of greed. So we got to understand we have to keep greed in control. You dig? Sometimes we can, we want more than we have, right? But we got more than we ever had. So you got to be appreciative of what you got and not let greed take control of you, you dig? So yeah, these are things that I definitely want to keep myself in remembrance with, you dig? So, that's just something I want to put out there. That's not the topic at hand. The topic of the day is the DNA of a hustler. How to pass on power and not just pain. And it's very important that I discuss this because, like I said again, for me, it's all about legacy, and your legacy that you leave on this earth. You want to leave a legacy of positive. You want to leave positive things in your life, right? You want to leave positive things with your legacy. Your legacy could be your child, it could be your business, it could be something that you love doing. Your legacy, for what I'm speaking about today, is your offspring. You know what I mean? When you leaving your legacy, your offspring, you want to leave positive things with your offspring. You don't want to just leave pain. You dig? And a lot of times, our parents leave generational traumas with us. They don't leave us no money. They don't leave us no real estate. They don't leave us nothing of value but pain and trauma. I don't know about you, but that's what it was for me. You dig? So I want to discuss that, and I want to definitely educate y'all on how to change your blueprint for your next generation, right? You want to change your blueprint so your next generation can have a positive, legacy that's carried on, and they can carry the torch of greatness because you left greatness inside of them. You left greatness with them. So that's what we're going to touch on today, you dig? But I want to get into, in my story about some of the things I feel like my father left with me. You know what I mean? Because I like to definitely be an example. I don't just want to talk because I got lips and just speak about somebody else's situation. I want to speak about my situation, what I dealt with, you dig? And I touched on this before, but I'll touch on it again, right? And it's very important that I touch on this again because it has a big significance to this particular episode. Now, when I first moved to Vegas, right, I never gambled at all. Now, Vegas is a gambling city. Now, when I was coming up in high school as a kid, for some reason, in the back of my mind, I've always said to myself, I'm never going to make my millions off of gambling. I'm never going to be rich and wealthy off of gambling. You dig? So when my friends used to be gambling in school, I never participated in it. You know, niggas playing crap, CeeLo, or whatever they playing, they could be gambling marbles or whatever they doing. I just never participated in gambling. That just wasn't my thing, right? So it was always embedded in the back of my mind that I'm never going to be rich off of gambling. So I just didn't involve myself with that. So fast forward, I moved to Vegas. One of my homeboys showed me this particular game called Baccarat, right? It's a dope game. Easy to play. And they say the odds to win in this game is 70, right? 70% odds you can win in this game. In my opinion, it's 50-50 because as bank and player, if you ever played the game Baccarat, you already know you either could pick bank or player. That's it. And the closest 1 to 9. Basically, the dealer will pull out a card for player and pull out another card for bank, then pull out another card for player, then pull out another card for bank, and the closest 1 to 9 wins. And you got to bet which one you think is going to win, bank or player. It's really no strategy. It's just basically a guessing game, just like everything in the casino. It's a guessing game, right? So anyway, he playing this game. He doing this thing. He showed me how to play it. I started playing the game. And now, I've always heard in the back of my mind, or not in the back of my mind, but I've always heard it around town that you don't want to get bit by the gambling bug. And I'm thinking in my mind, I don't think I'm going to get bit by the gambling bug. That ain't going to be me because I don't really gamble. I always knew that, I'm never going to make my millions off of gambling. So this is not something I'm going to do for, to pay my bills or anything like that. It's going to be recreational, something I do just for the time being. Just to kill time while I'm in the casino moving around. So this was my logic. This was my mind frame, you dig? So I'm starting playing the game. And I'm winning a few times, you dig? Losing a few times as well. But the game is starting to get addictive. Now, I could be playing the game. Now, mind you, this is my first year living in Vegas. I still got a condo back in Atlanta, but I'm trying to figure out how this Vegas thing works and how to operate out in this landscape. You dig? So now I'm gambling, right? And for some reason, slowly but surely, I start to gamble more than I usually do. And I got bit by the gambling bug, you dig? And I knew I got bit by the gambling bug one day because I gambled about $10,000, lost that, went home, got another stack, lost that. And then I said, okay, something is up. I'm losing big money and I'm still going back, you dig? To the point where I used to go home and sleep and dream about gambling. I didn't even care about losing the money. I just wanted to go back and try my hand again. So I'll do this consistently, and mind you, I don't know how Vegas is running. I don't know how the money's going to be like. I don't know what's going to happen while I'm out here. You dig? I have no means of getting money while I'm out in Vegas. So I'm gambling with the money that I had stacked up in Atlanta. You feel me? I'm gambling my real money. I ain't even made no money in this particular area yet. You dig? So anyway, I'm losing money hand over fist. Now, I took a break. I said, man, you know what? I got to chill. I got to take a break. I took a break, gambled again. Lost another 10 stacks. Now, I'm down a lot of money now, right? And this was one of the worst summers for me in Vegas. One of the worst summers because at this particular time, it was a slow summer. Money not coming in. Things are not working out. And I'm losing stacks of money, you dig? And one of these days when I lost about 20 bands, one of my homeboys, I think I lost about 17 to 20 bands. One of my homeboys said, man, come on, you got to bet with me, man. He started playing craps. Mind you, I'm stuck on Baccarat. I didn't really play craps, and you dig? But he playing craps. We went to the win. He said, man, you got to gamble with me, but I'm already down 20,000. So I'm like, I'm not gambling with nobody. I'm not even messing with the tables no more. So anyway, we there for 5 minutes. He started shooting craps. He won about $5,000, right? Quick. We won that. He won that in 5 minutes. Then after that, we went to the Cosmo. He started playing for another 10 minutes. He won about $17,000 at the Cosmo. You dig? Now I'm seeing this dude win basically the money I lost in about 10, 15 minutes. You dig? So I'm like, damn, I should have bet with him. But I ain't had no money at that particular time. At least the money that I had was in the crib. So anyway, right? Fast forward. Now, I'm shaking this shit off because I realize I'm down a lot. The money's not flowing in the city. So I said, you know what? I ain't gambling no more. I'm chilling on that. I ain't even messing with it. Even though I was bit with the gambling bug and I was dreaming about gambling, I was sleeping, thinking about gambling. I couldn't wait to get to the casino. I was bit with the gambling bug for a good, strong goddamn 2-3 weeks, right? So anyway, I shook it off, you dig? Because the money was looking funny. I shook it off eventually. Now, fast forward. I'm going to go move on with the story. Short story long, long story short. Short, long, however they say it. You know what I mean. You dig? I was having a conversation with my father the other day, right? And we just talking about life because I wanted to know certain things about my family history. You dig? And at the end of the conversation, because we was talking about like for an hour. And at the end of the conversation, I asked him, yo, what's one of those life lessons that you can give me before you get off the phone? Give me a life lesson, something that you learned throughout the course of your life. And he said, if he could do it all again, he would never gamble. Now, that took me for a loop because I never knew my father was addicted to gambling. I never knew. So I started to, ask him more questions about it. So I said, what you mean if you would have took it all, if you could do it all over again, you would never gamble? He said he was addicted to gambling since he was a teenager, since he was a teenager until he was 40 years old. He said he didn't stop gambling until his 40s. Now, mind you, I think I was born when he was around 30 something, right? So I'm looking back at, my life and figuring out where did I get the idea that gambling is not the thing to do. See, that just popped up in my mind. I never knew where I got it from. But when he started to tell me about his life and his history, he told me that he started betting on horse races at a young age. And he used to gamble so much, sometimes he would give his wife the money to hold, and when she go to sleep, he'll go and find the money and go gamble the money. So I asked him, how was you able to stop gambling since you were doing it for such a long time? He said, I prayed and 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 I prayed. You dig? And he's praying consistently, right? And he said, but he would never stop. He would just keep on going. He might stop for a week, might stop for 2 days, but he'll always keep on gambling, right? So eventually, he said one day, he was driving towards a gambling house. Now, picture the gambling house being on the east side of town, right? And he was driving to the gambling house on the east side of town. And as he was driving there and he thinking he's getting closer and closer and closer, when he thought that he was there, he realized that he was not at the gambling house. He realized instead of going east towards the gambling house, he actually went west. So the whole time he was driving, he was actually driving away from the gambling house. And that's when he stopped gambling because he started to laugh to himself. And then he said he drove home after that situation because he said, I wanted to gamble. I thought I was moving towards the gambling house, but God was actually taking me away from the gambling house. And that's when he realized and it clicked in his mind that God is redirecting him. And that's when he decided to stop gambling from that day. You dig? And I say that to say this. I never knew my father was addicted to anything. Now, mind you, I had a mother that was addicted to something, but my father always seemed like he was always level-headed because he always went to work on time. He always kept the lights on, kept food on the table. You dig? Everything was fine. We didn't have food every night, but everything was good. We still was able to fend for ourselves, you dig? And the thing about that is that I never thought he was addicted to anything because, see, gambling is one of those addictions that nobody would know you had that addiction because you don't go selling your clothes, you don't go selling anything. You still able to maintain your livelihood. You just gamble every dollar that you get. You know what I mean? So I was never able to see that. So you can't see somebody being addicted to gambling, especially if you're not at the gambling house with them, you dig? So I never was able to see that, but I realized that my father passed on that gene. He passed that on to me. Now, I didn't know that at the time, but when we had that conversation, that's when I realized, oh shit, the sins of the father would be passed on to the child. He passed that on to me without even knowing it. He never had that conversation with me. We never spoke about gambling, but in that conversation, he told me if he can change it all again, he would never gamble. So I say that to say this, man. What is something that you're doing on a consistent basis that you're not even aware of that may have been passed down from your mother, your father, your grandfather, your grandmother, or from your generational, your generation, history? Now, I mean, what is something that you do on a consistent basis that you may be addicted to, that you might not even be aware that somebody passed it down onto you, man? You know what I mean? Because I was not aware that I had that gambling, gene pool inside of me, because I was never a gambler coming up. And for some reason in my mind, I always knew gambling would not be the way I make my millions. So I never got involved with gambling at a young age. This happened later in life, you dig? So I want to discuss, passing on a DNA of positive, influential traits that can help guide you towards a positive future. You know what I mean? Instead of the traits that we got, because we all been passed down some type of genetic, makeup. You dig? From our fathers, from our mother, something that we do that we might not even connect the dots to our mother and our father, because we don't have those conversations. That's why sometimes it's good to just ask your parents or your peoples certain conversations, man, certain things, so you can learn your history, you can learn your family tree, you could figure out why you do what you do, why you behave the way you behave. You dig? And for a long time, I used to say I ain't never want to be like my father. And then I grew up and realized, man, we just two peas in a pod. We similar. We got a lot of similar traits. And I know you can relate. I'm sure that you've had situations in your life where you feel like, man, I don't never want to be like my moms. I don't never want to be like my pops. And then you realize, man, you everything like them. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was my situation, you dig? And like I said again, you want to pass down power, not pain. And a lot of times our parents pass down pain instead of passing down power. You dig? They pass down trauma. They pass down heartbreak. They pass down guilt. They pass down depression. They pass down drug addiction. They pass down pain. You dig? And instead of passing down pain, they got to pass down positive things, positive qualities like consistency, qualities like integrity, you know what I mean? Compassion, honor, loyalty. These are the things that you want your parents to pass down. Respect, power. Notice I didn't mention money. I didn't mention money because money is not power. Money is just a tool that you use. But you're going to have certain situations that happen in your life that money cannot save you or help you in. You dig? Things are going to happen. Problems are going to be in your problems are going to surface themselves in your life, and money will not be able to help you through these problems. You dig? Only thing that's going to help you is your integrity. You're going to have obstacles in your life that you face. Only thing that's going to help you is your consistency. Only thing that's going to help you is your honor, your loyalty, your respect. These are going to be your powerful traits that are going to help you. You dig? Your relationship may not be going the way you want it to go, but you're going to need that compassion inside you to be able to deal with that person that you may be having conflict with. You dig? Sometimes you need compassion, right? You may be faced with a problem in your life, and your integrity is going to take you through that particular situation. Not your money, your integrity. You dig? You might be faced with another problem that your loyalty will be tested. And only thing that's going to take you through that is your loyalty, your honor, your respect. These are the quality traits that we need to pass down to our offspring, to our siblings, right? To our kids. These are the things that you want to be passed down. You know what I mean? Power. Because money is just a tool. And I always tell people all the time, man, a wise man once told me, if you got a problem that money can solve, you don't got a problem. Nah, you don't got a problem at all. If you got a problem that money can solve, you do not have a problem. Not at all, man. You dig? So I tell people all the time, stop complaining about money. Stop complaining about what you don't have and what you don't got. Listen, if you're not in the ICU on life support, you don't got a problem. If you don't have Alzheimer's, you don't got a problem. If you don't got an illness, a major illness or disease, you don't have a problem. You dig? Any problem that money can solve, you don't have a problem, man. Keep that in mind. Understand that. That's going to keep you in a positive mental state. That always kept me in a positive mind state, you dig? Anytime I think I got an issue or situation that is, that is difficult or challenging, I always reflect back to that thought process when that old man told me, if you got a problem that money can solve, you don't got a problem. This always keeps me in a positive mind state, you dig? And I think it'll do the same for you. Understand that, man. Like I said again, if you're not in ICU, if you don't have Alzheimer's, if you don't have a major illness, you don't have a problem, man. You got a situation, you dig? That's it. You got a situation and you got a challenge. And ain't nothing wrong with having a challenge. I love a challenge because I'm very competitive. You dig? As you can tell, that's why I lost all my money in the casino, because I was very competitive. I was trying to beat the casino. You never gonna beat the casino. The house will always win. But see, if you're a competitive person, that's how you're gonna gamble. You're gonna be competing with the casino, but they'll never run out of money. You will run out of money. So you'll never compete with them. That's what I had to learn. I had to understand. Stop. Oh, that's the fourth thing I want to tattoo on my hand. I want to tattoo loss, because I want to learn how to live with loss. You dig? I want to master the art of living with loss. See, you got to know how to take your losses. That's what I had to understand when I was gambling and playing in the casino. I had to understand that the only reason I was going back because I didn't understand how to just live with my losses, live with taking a loss. When I was coming up in high school and I getting a lot of fights, man, listen, I used to get in fights all the time, but I always would constantly always be fighting the person over and over again, because if they won this time, I'm fighting again tomorrow until I win. You dig? That's just what it was. A lot of times I won, and most of the people that I was fighting, they didn't know how to take their losses either. So they'll always call, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, whoever they would call, just to try to gang up on me. You dig? But that's just what it was. That's how it was coming up. We didn't know how to take our losses. You dig? So if I lost a fight, if I lost in the casino, I'm coming back tomorrow, or I'm coming back that same day, because I'm trying to win what I lost. But you're never going to win because you're chasing your money. That's the worst place you want to be in when you're in the casino, chasing your money. You dig? So I say that to say this. Like I said, you got to know how to deal with loss. You dig? You got to know how to deal with these challenges and the things that you're going to go through in life. And like I was trying to convey, is that's what you want to pass down to your seed. You know what I mean? You want to pass down a DNA of a hustler. Regardless of what I experienced with the gambling situation for that short period of time, and that gene pool that my father passed down to me, he also passed down a lot of good positive traits. Like I said again, he passed down consistency, because every day he woke up and he went to work no matter what. So every day I wake up and I be consistent into, with anything that I'm doing. I'm always consistent. You dig? And that's the key to success, is to be consistent. You do the right thing long enough with the right thought process, you'll be able to achieve anything and everything you want. But you have to be consistent. A lot of us stop too soon. We give up too soon, and not understanding that if you kept on going, you would be able to achieve your goal. But you just have to be consistent. Know what you want. Have a direct plan on how you're going to achieve it, and then you'll be able to achieve that particular thing. You understand? So these are positive traits that he passed on, regardless of the other traits that he passed on that was not so positive. He passed on a positive trait of consistency. He passed on a trait of integrity. See, I stand on my integrity. Nothing is going to make me sell my soul for a piece of gold. I'm always going to stand on my integrity, because I believe honestly, in my heart, integrity is the essence of everything successful. So anytime I step into a business deal, or I step into a relationship, or I step into any situation with someone else, I carry integrity with me. These are the qualities that was passed on to me, a DNA of a hustler, you dig? You need these type of things when you're moving in the streets, because if you don't have integrity and you just one of those backbiting, backstabbing ass niggas, you're not going to survive in the streets. Niggas is going to triple cross you. Niggas will set you up or get you out of there just like that. You dig? You don't make it in the streets this long without integrity and honoring certain business deals and transactions that you may have with other people. So you have to notice when you're moving through the streets and you're moving through life. These are the qualities that you want to pass on to your seed. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of generational trauma, a lot of generational curse, but we want to pass down power, positive things. You dig? Honor, compassion. This is something that I didn't have too much when I was coming up, was compassion. You dig? So this is one of the traits that I feel like most of us need to pass down to our seed, is compassion. See, when I was coming up, everything was hard. You had to be hard. You had to be rough. You had to be tough. You had to be, you know what I mean, a man of your word. You couldn't show compassion because it was a dog-eat-dog world. You know, niggas wasn't showing no love. It was just straight savage mode. You dig? But we gotta show compassion when it's when it's needed. You dig? Especially when you're dealing with the opposite sex. When you're dealing with a woman, you gotta show compassion. You know, she might have done something that you didn't like. She might have violated the relationship. She might have did something that you feel deemed disloyal. You dig? But if you love that person and you care about that person, you're gonna show compassion towards that person and understand that, you know, God gives us a second chance every day. So it's only right that you can be able to give her a second chance. Now, I'm not saying give her 4, 5, 6 chances, but have enough compassion for the person in the situation and understand that, you know what, she deserves a second chance depending on the situation too. It's all case by case, but we have to have compassion for one another and understand we all are growing and evolving at different times. You dig? So these are the quality traits you want to pass down to your seed. These are the things that you want to leave or instill in your DNA. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're going to leave them something anyway. You're going to leave your seed something anyway. You're going to leave them something, regardless. I don't care if it's I don't care what you think it is. You're going to leave your kid something. But you want to make sure that you leave him something that he can take with him to help him to have a better chance at surviving in this life. You dig? You make the wrong mistake and do the wrong thing, you can get 100 years, man. They giving niggas 100 years. You dig? Just by making one mistake. So you want to be aware of the things that you're doing. You want to be aware of the things that you're being addicted to. Whether that may be gambling, whether that may be drugs, whether that may be sex, whether that may be porn, whether that may be whatever it may be. You want to be aware of it because the sins of the father will be passed on to the child. The sins of the mother will be passed on to the child as well. So if you're moving in a certain way and you're conducting yourself in a certain way and you're addicted to certain things, it's in your DNA, it's in your genetic makeup. And as soon as you give birth or have a seed, that is passed on to them. So we have to be mindful of that. Whether you popping pills, you doing whatever you doing. A lot of these kids are messed up and don't have a chance to live a prosperous life because of the mistakes we made while we was coming up. So we have to be aware of this, man. It's very deep. It's very important that I wanted to touch on this. And like I said again, having a conversation with my father sparked this particular, topic because, like I said again, we had that conversation and we talked about so much as far as my grandmother, my grandfather. I wanted to know more about my family tree, and I didn't want to take it, one of those tests they take and you can know all about your family tree in Africa and all this other, stuff like that. That's cool. I'm probably going to take one of those, one of those ancestry tests, whatever. But I wanted to know from the horse's mouth. I want to have a direct conversation with my father and find out the things that I need to know about my family tree and find out why do I do some of the things that I do. So I'm encouraging you to have a conversation with your mother, your father, and just talk about things that, how was their life coming up, You dig? What were some of the things that they did? What were some of the things they ate? What were some of the things they did for fun? If they had any addiction, you want to know all of these things so you can be aware and understand why you do the things you do. And then you can break that generational curse. But you'll never be able to do that if you don't know your history. So it's important to know your history. It's important to go back and search where your family been, where they came from, and their struggles and their trials and tribulations, because it's going to empower you. Nothing is going to empower you more than knowing your history and knowing where you came from and where your ancestors came from, the things that your mother and your father had to persevere through. You know what I mean? This is very deep, very deep. Sometimes I get too deep for y'all. You know what I mean? Let me know if I get too deep. Let me know in the comments if I'm getting too deep. Is it too heavy of a conversation? Because I know some of y'all want to talk about lighthearted things. But when you come over here to Create a Steady Hustle, we get deep because I want to change your DNA vibration. I want to raise your DNA vibration so you can be able to have energy, right, that you can transfer onto your siblings or onto your parents or onto anybody that's around you, right? Energy of positive vibration, so they can be influenced by your energy and they'll be able to, have a better life based on the transfer of energy, right? Because anything you want has to come to you through energy, right? And anything that you desire has to come to you through frequency, vibration, and energy, right? So you got to be aware of that. So you always want to raise your DNA vibration, right? The rich and wealthy believe that in order to be successful in life, it has to be genetics. It has to be in you, not on you. You dig? We say it all the time, but we don't understand how important that is. It has to be in you, not on you. Prosperity has to be in you. Positivity has to be in you. A certain mindset has to be in you. You dig? It has to be in you. That's why the rich and wealthy only associate with rich and wealthy, because they're all vibrating the same type of energy. You dig? The energy of the blue bloods. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother conversation for another time. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this. Number one, you have to love what you do. Number two, it has to be in your genetics, right? Whatever you're doing in life, whatever you want to achieve in life, you have to love it. And it has to be genetic. It has to be passed down to you. Like I said again, this is the reason why rich and wealthy people only fornicate and have kids with rich and wealthy family members. Or, they pass their kid on to a rich and wealthy family, because it's all genetics. They want to make sure to keep that, that genetic makeup in the family tree. So it's important for y'all to understand that. You dig? Like I said again, do your homework, do your history, find out what you've been passed down, right? And try to study yourself. That's the main thing. You want to master yourself. Like I said again, I'm constantly mastering me. You dig? I'm in a great financial space. I'm in a better financial space than most people, but I'm always learning and trying and discover more things about me. Because at the end of the day, you can't master nothing outside of you if you can't master yourself. That's the main thing. Anyway, let me read these comments, see what's going on. I could be talking for hours, man. We've been on here for 48 minutes. Let me see these comments real quick. Yeah, somebody said deep conversation. Yeah. Pause. I go deep. Pause. Choose so many generational curses, so it's important to create generational blessings for our seeds. Most definitely, man. Got to do that. Thank God I'm a winner, and every time I gamble at the casino, I've always accidentally won. That's dope. Shout out to you, man, for sure. Yeah, most definitely, man. I just want to see what's going on in the comment section. Like I said again, man, I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all know I ain't going to be on this live too long, man. You feel me? If y'all got a question, all y'all got to do is send in your boy a super chat, and I'll be able to answer whatever question y'all got. You feel me? Like I said again, you definitely want to leave your kids, a positive things. You dig? So it's important that I touch on this topic. You know what I mean? But we ain't going to be on this too long, man. Like I said again, if y'all got a question, All y'all got to do, send your boy a super chat. You know what I mean? And we can answer your question, man. It's just like that. Y'all know how I do. Yeah, man. I gave y'all the game, man. How to, reprogram your blueprint. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about reprogramming your blueprint for the next generation. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. You want to pass down a blueprint of prosperity, right? You want to pass down a blueprint of positivity. You want to pass down a blueprint of integrity, loyalty, honesty, power, compassion, love, right? You want to make sure that's a part of your genetic makeup, you dig? And like I said again, about somebody just said in the comments that when they go to the casino, they accidentally always win. And there's some people that have that in their genetic makeup where they can, they can go to the casino and always win. They can accidentally win because that's, prosperity in that particular way is in their genetic makeup and they're not even aware of it, right? And they accidentally win. Where a person like me, because I come from a background where, my pops always lost when he went. So I'm always going to lose no matter what. You dig? Because that's until I change that genetic makeup inside of me. Until I change that energy frequency inside of me, then I'll never be able to win. You dig? Because it's laying dormant inside of me. I know it's in the back of my mind. I can't even get it out. It's imprinted in my DNA. It's a part of my blueprint. Anytime I go to the casino, I'm never going to be able to win. Even when I win, I lose because of all the money that I lost in the beginning. So even when you go there and you maybe win $1,000 or $6,000, you're never going to make up for the money that you lost in the past. So you never really truly win, especially, when you're coming from a loss like the amount of money I lost, you dig? But like I said again, it's in my genetic makeup. It's in my DNA. You dig? It's imprinted. We have a lot of things that's imprinted in our DNA that we're not aware of. You know what I mean? Simple. It can be simple. It can be something that it can be simple as biting your fingers. You just do that all the time. You don't know why you do it. You just bite your fingers all the time. Have a conversation with your mother, your father, and you'll realize, oh, they do the same thing. Or they did the same thing when they was younger and they broke out of it. You feel me? So these are the things that we need to be aware of so we can master ourselves. And the more you learn and study yourself, you'll be able to master who you are. Like I said again, I know I have to focus more. You dig? I know that. I got to focus more. These are the things that I learned traveling through my life. I have to focus more. I'm focused like a motherfucker, but I can focus more because I do a lot of things. You dig? I'm always doing multiple things. You dig? And if I can focus more, I know you can focus more. I know I have to have more patience. As a young kid coming up, I didn't have a lot of patience. I wanted it to happen like this. You know what I mean? At lightning speed. As soon as I think it, I want it to come into my reality. That's just how I was coming up. I didn't have a lot of patience. But I had to understand you have to learn patience over the course of your, time living. You have to learn patience because that's the only way you're going to win in the game of life is having patience. Knowing how to deal with losses. Understanding that you're not going to win every situation. You're not going to win every argument. You're not going to win every bet. You're not going to win every challenge. You're not going to always win. You got to take your losses just like you take your wins with a smile. You dig? Not everything you do you're going to win at, but you got to know how to take it with a smile. You understand? So these are the things that I have to master so I can continue to master myself and always keep greed in control. Be in control of my greed. See, I love, me personally, I love having money. That's just me. I love having money. You dig? And sometimes greed can kind of take control. And, like I say, we got more than we ever had, yet and still we want more than we have. You feel me? So being aware of it, I can keep it suppressed. I can keep it under control. But if you're not aware of it, you can get caught up. And greed could be one of those things to take you under. A lot of people have not succeeded in life or haven't made it this far as in life because of greed. So we have to be aware of that. A lot of business deals didn't go through because of greed. There's a lot of relationship that didn't work out because of greed. There's a lot of transactions that didn't happen because of greed. So being aware of these things you'll be able to have control of all these things, and you'll understand your personality traits and knowing what to deal with and how to deal with it. You dig? So study yourself so you can master yourself and make sure you can pass down a legacy to your generation of things that are going to be, attributes and qualities that's going to help them throughout their life, not hurt them. We always pass down pain, trauma and shit that we got, from certain situations that we've been through. We pass down heartache and heartbreaks. We pass down all these, addictions and all these type of things that, we pass down to our kids, not understanding that we harming them, So it's very important, man. Like I said again, I had a wonderful time, man. I appreciate y'all chopping it up with me. I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to call in. You dig? I'm gonna leave the number in real quick. Y'all can tap in with me and express whatever y'all want to express. You know what I mean? Family history is very important. You have to know what is passed down to you. You'll know. I told y'all I'd be going live every Thursday, right? I told y'all I was going to be going live every Thursday. I might not be on time, but I made it. You dig? I definitely made it. You feel me? The DNA of a hustler. Consistency is the key, right? Pass down power, not pain. Yeah, man, the DNA of a hustler. Like I said again, man, sign up to the Patreon. If you haven't signed up to the Patreon, you're sleeping, all right? Time for you to wake up. If you haven't signed up to the Patreon, you're sleeping. I need you to wake up. All right? Y'all ain't hit that super chat today. Okay. I ain't got no love today. It's all good. Y'all still gonna get this work regardless. Y'all know how I feel about y'all. Y'all tap in. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for definitely tapping in. Also, leave in the comments how you feel about this episode, this particular topic. What are some of the things that your family has passed down to you? You know what I mean? Some of the generational trauma that you may have. Leave it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Like I said, again, I'm going to give y'all an opportunity to call in right now. And if you, feel brave enough to want to, talk about it right now live, you know what I'm saying? We can discuss it, all right? So I'm going to leave the number in here right now. Give me a second. Like I said, again, I still need a moderator. So the moderator could be putting the number in here, man. I ain't got to be doing this right here. The moderator could be doing this. You feel me? So, yeah, like I said, again, if y'all got the guts to call in and talk about some of the generational curses that you feel that your parents has left you, let's talk about it. Let's unpack it. Let's discuss it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I think my parents left me with, but I just want to touch on that today. I didn't want to touch on everything that I think I'm left with, because there's so much more. There's so much more, man. But we're gonna touch on that. That's it. We ain't gonna give y'all too much. We just want to touch on that real quick. Here's the number. As you can see, the numbers in the chat already. If you want to call in and definitely you could definitely call in, all right? All right, I left the number in. Okay, y'all can definitely call in now. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, like I said again, I don't want to touch on too much. You feel me? Because there's a lot more that I could touch on, but you know what I mean? I just want to give y'all a little dab of it. You feel me? Yeah. Anyway, y'all got a few minutes y'all can call in. I'm not going to be on here waiting for y'all to call in for a long period of time. I'm going to give y'all 5 minutes to call in. That's it. If y'all don't call in within 5 minutes, that's going to be it, man. You heard me? That's it. 5 minutes. That's all you got. 5 minutes to call in. Grab your balls, pause. You know what I mean? Get your courage, and y'all call in, man. All right? Get your courage up. Don't be scared. We ain't going to bite you over here, man. Let me me see 1 second. Until then, like I said again, man, y'all sign up to the Patreon. Also, listen to that Dropping Jewels Volume 1. Check that out. Like I said again, it's informative, it's inspirational, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. You dig? You can listen to me on the go. Of course, the podcast episodes will be uploaded on Spotify and all these other major platforms in a minute. As you can see, I got on my Pirate City tee. Y'all definitely go on the website, support that, liquidcash.com. You dig? Make sure y'all definitely check that out. And like I said again, I'm gonna try to go live with y'all every Thursday, man. So y'all gotta keep this going. Support the show, support the platform, support my campaign. And I'm always gonna go live with y'all and give y'all some news y'all can use. You dig? It ain't enough of me out here that's really giving y'all this type of, you know what I mean, type of information. So we're gonna need to keep this going. All right? We gotta keep it going. And definitely let me know if y'all want me to keep it going in the comments, all right? You know, I got better places to be. I got better things to do. And I'm here with y'all, so salute to me for doing that. You dig? Most definitely. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back, man. You got to give yourself the praises. Sometimes they don't want to give you the praises, man. They don't want to give you your flowers while you can smell them. You got to give it to yourself, man. Sometimes, listen, man, if you wait for them to give you flowers, man, shit, you'll be all out of flowers. All the roses in the garden will be dead. You dig? So you got to give yourself those praises. You got to pat yourself on the back and let yourself know that you that nigga. You know what I mean? But I want y'all to understand the importance of just having good qualities and good habits and good traits, personality traits, all right? Anyway, man, ain't nobody calling yet. So, like I told y'all got about 2 more minutes. Y'all probably got 3, but I'm going to give y'all 2. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got 3 more minutes, but I'm going to give y'all 2. Y'all got 2 more minutes to call in. That's it, man. Or leave a question in the comment section. But y'all got 2 more minutes to call in. That's it. And after that, I'm out of here. Shitty. DNA of a hustler. How to pass down power and not just pain. You know what I mean? Definitely watch this over again. There's a lot of informative information in this. Y'all know how I do, man. I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. And if y'all don't do nothing else, y'all just remember this. If you don't remember nothing else, y'all remember this. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Until next week, Thursday, y'all know what it is. Matter of fact, I might go live tomorrow, too. I might do a 2 for 1. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned, all right? Cheers.